What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you. Been incredible amounts of support on the channel. Thank you to everyone who came out to my Twitch stream yesterday. And yeah, at the time I'm recording this, we're like at 88.5 thousand subscribers, which is a little nutty. And I'm currently recording this at 12:30 a.m. It's past midnight. I'm really tired, but I want to make sure y'all have a video for tomorrow morning, I guess, which is now. So if I'm a little low energy, that's why. It's been a long day. I've already streamed for 5 hours and recorded. This is my 4th video today. So, but I still think the content is good. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If we've hit 90K by the time I wake up tomorrow, / by the time you're seeing this, thank you. I really appreciate it. Anyway, today's guide is on a Pokemon I actually really like and is really interesting, called GALARIAN AUDINO, aka Indeedee. Indeedee is really cool. So it has 2 forms, male and female, and each form has some unique things about it. So while they both share Synchronize and Psychic Surge, one gets Own Tempo and one gets Inner Focus. Spoiler, it doesn't really matter. You're pretty much only using a hidden ability, which is Psychic Surge. They also look different. They get different move pools, and they actually get different stats as well. So I know you can't see the speed stats that well, or at all. So male Indeedee has a 95 base speed, whereas female Indeedee has an 85 base speed. Those 10 points actually make a big difference, which we'll get to later in the video. Female Indeedee basically is weaker and bulkier, with 70 HP versus 60. Attack is lower, it doesn't really matter. Defense is higher, special attack is lower, and defense is higher, or special defense is higher. So basically, female Indeedee is bulkier, whereas male Indeedee is more offensive. I know that's kind of like traditional gender norms or whatever, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. Anyway, so Indeedee doesn't have amazing stats, frankly. They're not incredible. It's a pretty low base. It's a low base defense. Let's be honest. And the special defense is okay, and the HP is okay, but it might not seem very redeeming, right? Well, the reason this thing is good is because of its hidden ability, Psychic Surge. So, as you may or may not know, the TAPU Pokemon, Tapu Koko, Bulu, Lele, and Fini used to be the only ways to get terrain onto the field unless you wanted to manually set it. They have the abilities, the Surge abilities, which set the terrains on the field. And while those Pokemon are removed, they have added new Pokemon which can set the terrains on their own. So there's Indeedee for Psychic Terrain, Pincurchin for Electric Terrain, Galarian Weezing for Misty Terrain, and then unreleased is the starter Rillaboom for Grassy Terrain. So because of Indeedee's Psychic Surge, its Psychic type attacks get a 1.5 times power boost, meaning that might explain like the low stats a little bit more. And there's also one more thing in particular that makes Indeedee a much bigger threat. So if we factor in Psychic Surge, the stats make a little bit more sense. The special attack is a lot more threatening, so it feels more balanced. Going through the moves, so this is a little confusing because it has slightly different level up moves. Male Indeedee gets Encore. They both get Helping Hand, Calm Mind, Last Resort, and Stored Power. Well, actually, they both get Stored Power. Whereas female Indeedee gets Healing Wish, and what's the other thing that's changing? Baton Pass. So those might not seem extremely important. However, I missed it, sorry. Female Indeedee gets Follow Me. I totally glossed over it. That's a huge thing. So, Follow Me in Rage Powder, and especially Follow Me. Follow Me is one of the best attacks in Pokemon, frankly. It is so good that Pokemon such as Clefairy and Clefable have done well, even though, well, I know Clefable is good in singles, but Clefairy has a notable run in VGC somehow. That primarily because of Follow Me, although Friendguard does help as well. So, Follow Me redirects all attacks to the user, and although they have added some Pokemon like Barraskewda and Duraludon which can ignore Follow Me and bypass it, it's still a very, very good ability. So, Follow Me and Helping Hand, as well as, we'll go through the rest of the moves, sorry, you can see that. Gets the screens, probably don't have room for it, gets Payday if you want to make money. Helping Hand, like I mentioned, is a big one. Imprison is a move I love, but isn't that great. Male Indeedee gets Trick Room, so that's something I didn't talk too much about in this video because of the bad bulk, but it is something you can consider. They both get Mystical Fire, which is really, really like good coverage for Psychic type Pokemon. And then other cool moves like Tri Attack you're probably not going to use, but Encore, like I said, female Indeedee gets Female Indeedee gets Baton Pass. Trick on both for choice sets. Ally Switch is a move that's okay. Good coverage overall. Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Hyper Voice, Mystical Fire, all that good stuff. And then they both get Fake Out. Frankly, on a Psychic Terrain Pokemon, you don't really want to use that. I do think it's funny that only one gender can get certain egg moves, but yeah, Psycho Shift and then Heal Pulse. So, I feel like this is female Indeedee exclusive. I can't really tell. Yeah, female Indeedee exclusive is Heal Pulse. So, yeah. So, I feel like it's a pretty good overview of what you're expecting with Indeedee. It's a support Pokemon that can do other things other than support. So, A large way in which Indeedee has currently been used is on Trick Room teams. The way that this works is that they'll use like Indeedee Hatterini as an early combination that people are interested in, and what they do is they just use Indeedee. They Indeedee Hatterini. They use 2 psychic types, and they use basically Follow Me to ensure that Trick Room gets up. Follow Me Trick Room is extremely hard to stop, and a Focus Sash ensures that Indeedee can take 2 attacks almost 100% of the time. So this Indeedee is meant as a Pokemon that helps set Trick Room. It's not trying to stick around any longer than it has to. Ideally, it will die to faint turn 1, like as you set Trick Room, so you can get your Sweeper in. And if it does stick around, it has powerful support options with Helping Hand and Psychic, so that it can be more valuable. I put the EVs in Special Attack here, and I haven't lowered Speed here because Indeedee also pairs well with Psychic, Seed, Unburden Pokemon, or you can, I don't know, in case you want a fast mode, like, of course you could always run less speed, but I don't have it here. A lot depends on the team in terms of speed. But yeah, good support moves, and you still are pretty strong. Like, this is not a bad special attack stack, given you're using Psychic's terrain, so you can actually do decent damage with Psychic as well. Next set is a bulkier version of that Pokemon, and the moves are really interchangeable here. Frankly, like, you can run, I mean, you need Follow Me and Psychic pretty much, but you can run Heal Pulse or Helping Hand. You could drop a first Dazzling Gleam or a different coverage move. This set is built to take, it takes Modest, Hydreigon, Dark Pulse, which is good, and it also lives Adamant, Tyranitar, Crunch. So this set is intended to be bulkier. It's a Pokemon that you want to stick around after you set Trick Room, so, or yeah, you might want to have around for other reasons. The other thing I want to mention is on both these sets, you could in theory run Eject Button. Primarily more so on this one because it's bulkier, but I saw some Eject Button when I was testing, so that is an option as well. You could also, of course, run Helping Hand or Heal Pulse here. That's totally an option, but again, the idea is similar in that you use Follow Me to set Trick Room, but in this set you want it to stick around for longer, or you feel more comfortable like having the bulk. This set is better, yeah. Again, basically, if you want your Indeedee to, if your team isn't as heavily built around sweepers and you want to like get a second Follow Me off, right? Or if your Trick Room sweep setter is also a sweeping Pokemon and you want to live more than one attack, or like you want to Follow Me turn 1 and then take 2 attacks and then still be around to take a 3rd attack as you Follow Me again, because that's like sometimes that's more valuable than getting a sweeper in depending on the team. So this is a good way of doing that. Or you can protect and attack with your sweeper and then next turn Heal Pulse your sweeper, right? Or your setter, sorry, assuming your setter is your sweeper. So Pokemon that are more offensive, like Hatterini, like offensive Reuniclus, maybe. I don't know how good that is. Yeah, that's that. Next, I want to talk about Indeedee Male, and these are just spoilers. These are both choice sets. You need Psychic type coverage, and other than that, like, you can kind of do whatever you want, frankly. I've just put moves that, like, between the two of them, I think should cover most things. I also feel like I'm missing a move. Shadow Ball, Hyper Voice. I feel like I might be missing a move that I wanted to include, but yeah, basically. So this is Scarf Indeedee. This set outspeeds Dragapult, which is really good because you're immune to Ghost type moves, so you can actually fire off powerful attacks first. You can use Dazzling Gleam if you're worried about Hydreigon. You can fire off Shadow Balls if you're worried about Dragapult. Dazzling Gleam is also pretty good there. Psychic is always just a really strong move as well. Yeah, this set takes advantage of Indeedee Male being faster and stronger, so it's Modest with max special attack for highest possible damage output, and then it has a good coverage moves, honestly. You could totally do some cool stuff here. You could also run Trick. This is a great Pokemon against frail teams if you are worried about like kind of dealing with hyper offense teams. Anything slower than this doesn't want to take huge damage, and you pair this with a Pokemon like Helping Hand Arcanine, for example, with Intimidate. Helping Hand plus Psychic is really strong, so especially when you're attacking first. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this. This team is built. The last two sets here are not really built for Trick Room. They're built more for general offensive teams. So yeah, I actually just really want to run a calc here. Oh no, my computer shut down. So yeah, next thing I want to talk about is we're just going to show you the calc here. So this is Specs Indeedee, and you might think it's weird that I have Psychic. You could, of course, run Psyshock, but if we go ahead and pull up Gyarados in the calc, Psyshock is actually really strong if you throw on a Choice Specs against Gyarados. With max special attack, you have a pretty good chance to OHKO, and the reason I have Modest here is you actually have a guaranteed OHKO on like 52 HP Gyarados, which is pretty good. So you outspeed max speed Jolly Gyarados, and you OHKO with Psyshock, which is pretty good. Another valuable calc is like against Frail Arcanine, Psyshock gets the OHKO, but also Psychic is even stronger. So like if the Arcanine only has like 180 investment, or if he actually gets my Arcanine, for example, which is just max HP, max speed for attack Adamant, which is what I'm currently running, you actually get the OHKO here. You are the same speed as Arcanine, so that is something you have to be aware of, but Yeah, I think both Psychic and Psyshock are valuable, and even Psychic's actually pretty strong against Gyarados. It's not a guaranteed OHKO, but like it's really in your favor on 4 HP, 0 special defense. Yeah, it's like a 3 out of 4 times you're OHKOing Gyarados. So Psychic and Psyshock are both valuable, but I wanted to show that this, like, although Indeedee doesn't really look like an offensive Pokemon, if you throw a Choice Specs on it, it does pretty sizable damage. We can also just take a look really quickly at like Pokemon like Dragapult, who dies to Psychic, who dies to Shadow Ball, who dies to, does not die to Dazzling Gleam, but will still take a lot of damage, right? So yeah, Shadow Ball, you can OHKO Dragapult. If you pair this with a Trick Room like Whimsicott, for example, that could be good, right? I think there's a lot of potential with Indeedee as an offensive Pokemon. This is basically like budget Tapu Lele with better coverage. I'm sure you OHKO Ferrothorn with Mystical Fire. I'm like, well, I'm not sure, but I feel like Mystical Flamethrower, we're gonna change the base power. I don't know why Mystical Fire is not in the calc, that's fine. Mystical Fire is a 75 base power move. I don't know if you guys like when I get more nitty gritty, so tell me if you don't want me to do this in the future. We don't really have to do it, just like showing you where it comes from. So, okay, it doesn't guarantee KO on bulky Ferrothorn, but you know, does a lot of damage for Ferrothorn. Even 252 has a chance to OHKO. Is that what it said? Yeah. So even on max HP, max special defense Ferrothorn, you OHKO 1 out of 3 times. So you could totally run Mystical Fire on this set as well. Basically whatever you want. So yeah, I think Indeedee's a really cool Pokemon. I like it because although I hate the kind of playstyle that it encourages, although I hate Psychic Terrain as a thing, as a concept, I really don't like Psychic Terrain. It's my least favorite of all the terrains. I appreciate that they made Indeedee just good enough, is kind of how I feel. Like, is it broken? Probably not, right? Is it very good? Sure, but it's very good in a way such that it's not so apparent to me that it's going to be, like, super overpowered, right? I feel like it has a pretty well-carved-out niche. Like, it does the things that it does well. It has a lot of room for experimentation, but it doesn't feel too overpowered, right? It feels like a fair Pokemon, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, I like Indeedee personally. I think it's a fair Pokemon. I think if they had to give us something with Psychic Terrain, like, I think that they did a pretty good job with this one. So, I hope you enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think down below about Indeedee, and let me know which Pokemon you want me to cover next. I saw some requests for Indeedee, and I think it's interesting, and I've experimented a little bit with it in early format, so I felt confident enough to talk about it. But let me know what Pokemon you want to see next, because I don't have tomorrow's guide recorded yet. So yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you later for the battle video for today. Goodbye.